Welcome to Mechs on Deck, episode 23. I am Osiris. This is Chewy. This way. And we are Mechs on Deck, and we're here to talk about the top 10 from the Austin Meetup. How was it? I didn't get to go. I was supposed to go. Had some things come up. Personally, couldn't make it.
It happens, man. It happens. It was good. Met some good. Got to meet a few new people. Talk to them about their boards. Got to see a lot of cool boards. Overall, I think there were more boards and there were better boards. Not that there were bad boards at Houston. But there's a lot more higher end customs and unique things that people were doing. So that's definitely something that I was really excited to see. The place was really cool. It was like in an office that was laid out really well. The layout was great. There's plenty of space. They had we didn't stay as long just because our mod Willio and I drove down there and knew we were going to drive back and saw a lot of cool stuff, but we were just like, well, we got a long drive back home. So if I did miss you, if you left or if you showed up after like 6:30 or 7, sorry we didn't get a chance to say hi, but thank you for the people that did come up. But more on that in a second. Quick shout out. Switchmod.net/mechsondeck will get you 4% off your lube goodness. You can get yourself a tub like this. Awesome little tub of lube springs. He's got GMK. Is GMK Sandstorm still going on?
I believe so.
It started later in the month.
It started on the best day of the year.
There you go.
My birthday, the 9th.
It happens. But yeah, great set. Nice little Rama cap. Go check that out. And then Dixie Mech. So you can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. And at this point in time, I guess 9009 will be over. But Dracula is starting soon. So get your wallets ready for some GMK Dracula. Big shout out there. Some fun stuff coming up with Dixie. He's just been churning out bangers. He's
like the Post Malone of keycaps.
He is. So, but yeah, mechsondeck.dixiemech helps us out, helps continue the stream, helps improve the stream. So yeah.
Yeah, and then last but not least, we have Zap Cables. You can head on over to zapcables.com to pick up a custom fancy cable. You can get desk mats. You can get some fancy cool stickers there too, and you can get DIY kits. Excuse me. If you want to learn how to make your own cable, we have a video where John walks us through it. So take a look at that. And he's also
have it.
I gave up the bumper to Chewy. But yeah, it looks really nice.
I've been enjoying it. It's
a cool board.
It's heavy.
It is. So. It's heavy it's not as heavy as like the TX60, but for not having a brass weight at all, it's really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish is really nice.
A lot of compliments on the finish. I took this down to Austin. A lot of people enjoyed it. Only complaint I got, is people don't like tray mount. It's a tray mount board at the end of the day, but with what you do with a tray mount board is what's important because you are limited by the most basic form of mounting a keyboard. But I think a lot of people, this is going to be definitely, you don't want to miss that group I.
Yeah, it's going to be run, I believe, through the Discord more so than through Geek Hack, as far as what we have heard from John. So be sure to stay tuned to the Zap Cables Discord, and I'm sure we'll have posts about it in ours. So stay tuned to our Discord as well. Link is in the description.
So, but yeah, so how we did our last top 10, how we did this whole process started actually after Mechs on Deck, before it was named Mechs on Deck, but after the idea had come up, I did a top 10 on my Instagram of the Dallas meetup back in February. So we decided to do one for the Houston one, we did the Austin one. We got another Dallas meetup coming, so we'll do another one for that, plus the NorCal meetup. So it's just going to be top 10s of meetups. And these are based off of how they look as well as how they feel. So you do kind of have to get the wombo combo of both. I've full disclosure, I have made this list by myself. This was not made with Osiris due to him unable to type on these, but I know that you like
mine would be completely based on looks.
Yeah. So, but a lot of these look really cool.
They do look good. They do look good.
So, but and banger boards. Just awesome.
You
boards.
like that phrase today.
I'm like the word banger is the word of the day. Awesome boards at the meetup. Well done. So, but first, well, I guess we gotta transition.
We gotta go head on over. Let's take a trip. Transition. All right, we have completed said trip.
Heck yeah! I can't. I actively choose not to look at the thing because I like to see Eric, and so whenever we used to do it, where I would see the screen where we're on, not only was there a small delay, but Eric's face would be so tiny. I'm like, I don't know how to react to him right now. So, but anyway, first up by I think this is Cornballin or Cornballin.
I like Cornballin. I think
Cornballin.
If it's not that, it should be that because that's an awesome name.
Cornballin with the acrylic tofu coming in number 10. Novelty's creams, 55-gram springs. Wasn't the biggest fan of the springs, but this board sounded awesome. This board really did sound great. I think Novelty's creams sound awesome. And the one thing that I loved about this board, well, I guess a couple things. One, he did a good job mixing and matching the kind of accent colors to show off Hamon. And when I say that this is the second shiniest set I've ever seen, because the only one that I've seen that's shinier is Tyson's 9009, which is the epitome of shine. This set came out.
This set's only like 2 or 3 months old.
When I say that this is one of the this set is shinier than my GMK camp. This guy types. This guy types hard.
This has got to be a situation where he like either works from home or he takes it to and from work every day and types a ton. Maybe he writes encyclopedias for a living or something.
Maybe
just type it.
I will say I can tell he's a gamer because WASD is definitely the shiniest along with ER and Q. But I mean, man, like props, and this isn't a bad thing. I love shine. I think that means that you're using your keyboard. You're doing what maybe you need to get your hands checked for a little extra oils on your hands. I don't know, but Cornballin, respect, mad respect.
And we definitely embrace the quote of Heine Bush about shining your sets. So
I need to memorize that.
It's a long one. I have a new appreciation for GMK Hamon, not because it has anything to do with the actual key set, but Hamon de Iberico, I think is how you say it, the actual meat. That stuff's expensive. Yep. And that is, it's an artwork. So new appreciation for that set. This board looks great. Acrylic tofu looks like he's got stainless steel plate. He's balling. He's balling full of corn.
He's a baller on a budget.
Yeah, it's not an expensive board either. Like,
no, and the cap. I mean, he got a lot of kits, but that cap set is not super expensive.
Base kit was $100.
Yeah. So
All
but
right.
getting use out of it, respect. But moving on, number 9. This was a cool. I'm sorry about the bad pictures. I'm not a great picture taker, and I took these kind of fast because I did not want to get in the way for too long. I was just trying to make sure I got the information there. I need to look up this guy's name. Pragmedium, I think is it. It is TXCP version 1, which was powder coated to kind of match this laser theme. 69 gram vintage silent blacks, lubed with GPL 106, creamy smooth, great typing feel. Love what he did with the all of the laser is it micons? Is that what they called them?
No, that's
Or
like
laser or micons is like the actual dots.
yeah. I don't remember what
But
it's
the
called, but yeah,
Mito
it's
waves, I think Mito
yeah,
waves. But
maybe.
just all the novelty keys laid out. Some great artisan caps on that top right. Great board. I didn't the coating was really well done. The powder coating looked awesome. Um, just a overall just a solid board. And I'm a fan of. There's probably going to be a TX board in every one of these because I love me some TX keyboard.
Yeah, it looks good. My 2 questions to him would be why F1 and why F12? But no, it looks great. The artisans match perfectly as well. Um, the powder coating, it looks good. I'm sure it felt good. It looks super smooth. That's a little bit different. We don't see a ton of powder coating in the community right now, but it looks like he has something to do with Austin powder coating. So yeah, reach out to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
cool dude.
looks pretty cool. It's a cool pink. It looks like it was white at one point.
It might have been. They did make white TX boards, like a small run. So, but moving on. By Angel. This board showed up a little bit later, but Noxary 268.2 in Polycarb. The brand new Striker key set. Striker looks great, by the way. I'm still not a fan of the sub legends, but that blue is like super vibrant. So great looking set. Holy Pandas. I wish there was more information. I couldn't. I talked to him for about 2 seconds, but he was kind of walking away. But this board felt awesome. It really it sounded great and it felt great. It was one of those boards where I kind of stuck my hand out and I just did a quick little finger roll, and I was like, "Oh, I got to type on this for a while." So, and it definitely is like, yep, these are Holy Pandas. Like these are like well done. So, but there's something else I noticed about that.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's got all 3. All right, we got a step caps lock. We got a split backspace, and most importantly, we got a flip space bar.
Yeah. And we have a 6.25 bottom row, which is a little bit different. I don't think that board supports 7U. I don't remember if it does, but that's pretty unique layout. I like it. I'm currently using a TX60 with that same style of layout, except for the stepped caps lock, which doesn't really matter.
It's just preference.
It's just preference. But no, it looks really good. And like you said, Striker looks very vibrant. It looks awesome. I've always loved polycarbonate with brass plates. Especially like I know when I was looking through the pictures that Chewy took, there was a leaf that was an HHKB with the polycarbonate with brass. I've always liked that look. The HHKB where you can see a lot of the brass around. I think it looks really clean, looks really nice. So yeah, Noxary makes great stuff. So
yeah, solid board. Well done, Angel. Next up, Tyson, who was the event coordinator. Tyson's an awesome guy. This is Volcano 660, pretty brand new board with some NOS vintage blacks. The typing feel was great. I thought they nailed. This was one of those first, once gaskets started to become a thing, this was kind of head of the charge of like, hey, you don't have to spend $900 for a gasket board. It looks awesome. Metaverse. I know you love Metaverse. But this was one that, I mean, while it looks great, feel alone is one of the best sounding boards. I thought Tyson did an excellent job on this build. I believe he built this on stream.
I think so. He's been streaming pretty often. The last couple weeks, he's trying to build some boards every couple days, every couple weeks. So check him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I like this. I love Metaverse, as you said. I'm not a big fan of the novelty keys on Metaverse overall. I think it looks really clean with the black and white, but that's personally because I don't watch the show that this is based off of, or whatever anime or whatever it's based off of. I don't know anything about it. I just really like the way, I think this is the cleanest looking sub legends, cleanest looking way to do sub legends, and I like the icon mods, so that is why I like this key set so much. Volcano 660 is a cool board. I think there was one at Houston, if I remember correctly.
I don't personally remember, but
It was, I think it was either a Volcano 660 or it was I think it was actually the Douyu Studio one, the other one.
Oh yeah.
Their 65.
The Douyu 67.
Yeah, the Douyu 67.
There was one of those there as well at this meetup as well, if I remember correctly. So great board.
Yeah, looks great. I'm sure that these new old stock vintage blacks, that's what NOS means.
For the uninformed. Tyson, well done. Yeah, just make sure to check him out. He's a good friend of Mechs on Deck. He's a really cool guy. So
yeah, he does a lot. He's definitely a good guy to get in touch with if you want to get something Cerakoted. Does tons of that for boards in the community, so check him out. But yeah, great board. Changing it up.
Yeah, so this is probably the first and only Toper board that I like. With a Norbitouch by Purple Erp. I believe he's from Dallas because he was at the last 2 Dallas meetups. So he's the one. He's got the Singa, the purple Singa with the OG Holy Pandas.
I remember that. Yeah, because I remember the very first meetup we went to, or that you and I went to. He showed up right as we were leaving, and we were like, "Wait, what?"
Like, well, because there was like someone had WASD Holy Panda, someone had like a switch tester with one, but he had like the full one. That sounded great. But this one, he's got BKE heavy domes, so it's a real heavy feel, which points. Because I like a nice heavy typing experience. He's got a lot of really unique boards, especially with some even cooler layouts. He messes around with lots of layouts, so shout out to him. SA Carbon looks fantastic. This board just looks awesome. It looks like he's got the charcoaly carbon theme, and it feels even better to type on. And I'm not someone who likes Topra. I like to say Toper. I don't know why.
Give me them Topers.
Yeah, that Toper. So, but yeah, awesome board.
Yeah, I think Carbon is a classic set in this community. As much as people give it crap because it's like, I feel like there's so many people that have it, but just because it's been run so many times, it gets a bad name. But it's a cool looking set, and especially SA Carbon looks really, really, really cool. I like the little variants he has in the layout and the keycaps and whatnot. So it's a pretty sweet little board you've got there, Mr. Purple Erp.
Purple Erp. That's also an awesome name. So, but that is part of our top 10. Moving in to the top 5. This is the Austin and polycarbonate. So, yeah. So I got a chance to build the Austin keyboard. Unfortunately, that stream got all sorts of jacked up. And we were unable to, I was personally unable to recover that stream. So my apologies to Drifting Bunnies. But Drifting Bunnies, another good friend of the channel, he showed this to me like the day before, and he was like, "Shh, like I'm bringing this to the meetup. This will be cool." So I was like, "Wait, what?" And so I was like, one of the first boards I think I went to and went to check out. So, and then what's even more different is, so the switches are Gateron yellows, and then this actual build was built by 001 Anthony, and he built the blue one, which you can see the top of. He built the blue one, so he just took the plate and PCB out and put it in the Polycarb. So great build. Anthony, he's built a board for me, and he does an amazing job. And then GMK Striker, and you really get to see the full set. And that's another reason why I love this board, is you just get to see, and on Polycarb, it looks great. I'm pretty sure this is the second Polycarb Striker. Yep. So, but yeah, great board. Gateron yellows are like, for the bang for the buck, one of the best.
I mean, that was like the go-to before inks kind of came on the scene. Inks and creams, Gateron yellows were really, if you couldn't get blacks that you liked, whether you're going for vintages or different random stocks of blacks, you'd go for Gateron yellows, and they're still a solid switch. Again, I love the way polycarbonate looks with brass plate underneath, and this really shows it off. I think it looks really cool. I'm sure it'll look awesome once you have the indicator LEDs in there, when you have it all plugged in and on. I'm sure that would look awesome with the little logo he's got going there. And like you said, it does show off the whole set, which is really cool. And that's something that you don't see a lot now in the community.
Yeah.
So,
but welcome. You're well done, Drifting Bunnies and Anthony. Next up, by Polymorphed, Key Colt, number 1, Rev 1, MX Blacks retooled. Pretty standard, cut and dry. Classic set, classic board, black board. Looks awesome. Best stabs. Hands down. This guy did the best job on stabs in the entire meetup. Not to say anybody else did bad, but his space bar was one of the best space bars I've felt.
nice.
Like, he did such a good job. Key Colts, when you walk into a meetup, you do kind of get that, like, okay, where's the Alice? Where's the TGR boards? And there were Qs there. There's a 910 there that was really good. There were some awesome boards, but whether, the switches were not 100%, and this is preference to me, not, that's not to say that some of those other boards didn't feel great or didn't look great, but these are just, once again, this is a personal top 10. But these stabs in particular is what brought this board. When I was looking at them all, this is what brought this into the top 5. At number 4, is the stabs were just out of this world. So
Yeah, I mean, Key Cult is obviously super high end board, so there's not going to be anything wrong from a aesthetic standpoint of the board itself. Obviously, Oblivion's one of the most popular sets in the community. Looks great. It's popular for a reason.
It sold 3,000 base kits for a reason.
Yeah. My only question is, did he find the Noob Slayer? He's looking to.
I don't know.
But
I mean, I don't think he walked away with 100K, but who knows?
But I do like the way this board looks. I felt a couple different Key Colts. They all feel great. One of my favorite boards from the last couple meetups was a Key Colt. So yeah, they're great boards. Looks good.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about this, so this was a B stock. So he picked it up and showed me the reason why it was B stock, and this is just a testament to how awesome Key Colt is. It was the tiniest mark on the weight on the back, and this has the dual back weight, not the flat back. The Rev 1 has the kind of dual back. And I mean spec. I mean, it was a tiny spec and it went to B stock. Something that you would get on your board in the first week of owning it just on accident. And so just testament to their quality control of just being like looking at that and being like B stock. So if you're spending them, when you're spending that much on a board, you want to know you're getting the best of the best. So
I was about to say, it makes sense. It's an expensive board. It's worth a lot of money. Obviously, Keycult understands that it's going to be worth even more money on the aftermarket. So he wants to make sure that he puts the best out there, maintains that reputation. Speaking of maintaining a reputation of a very high-end board, up next.
Yeah. The whale. So for those who don't know, whales are extremely popular, not in the States. Now a lot of high-end collectors. I know Nathan Kim finally got a whale that he had been looking for. These are kind of like the TGR key cults of the eastern world. But Holy Pandas lubed perfectly, and GMK Damage looked awesome.
Yeah, that's a set that I think a lot of people are going to wish they had. We're talking about a set that didn't really hit MOQ. It was bought out to hit MOQ, and now I think it's going to be one of the more popular aftermarket sets because of that, because there's so few. It's just barely over, I think, 250, maybe 300 kits sold. And I mean, I think extras went up at like $200 and sold out in seconds.
Yeah.
So if you have damage, if you have GMK DMG, you are
sitting on gold.
You're golden. You're set. Well,
yep.
You've got a cool set, but don't sell it.
Because it's extremely
sweet.
valuable and it's a cool set.
Yeah, it's cool looking. But no, I like this. I've actually never played with a whale in person.
Neither have I. They're too big to play with, Eric. So, but the Presso the Clown, awesome board, little BMO action top left as well, which makes sense because it's BMO is supposed to look like a Game Boy, and DMG is modeled after a Game Boy. Maybe not Game Boy. I think Super Nintendo, same world.
No,
Nintendo.
it's Game Boy. It's Game Boy.
So, but yeah, great set, great board. One of the better, probably the second best to type on board at the meetup. So awesome set. But next up was something that really, really threw me off. Of like it's like, what? I don't know anything about boards anymore. So this is the Sperry Terminal keyboard from 1984. This is the first vintage board that we're gonna have. This guy was ex-MIT, I think, or ex-MIT. He is a collector of vintage boards. He had lots of vintage boards. Some were awesome, like this one. Some were not as awesome because they're vintage and you just can't do anything about that. So these switches are micro switch Hall effects with spherical high profile double shot ABS. This thing was cool. This was just such a unique board to type on because you can't buy one of these new. It was in perfect condition. It felt great. It sounded even better. Like, I would say probably it was probably one of the best sounding. The whale was the best feeling. It sounded fine, but it sounded like a Holy Panda board. This was one of the coolest sounding boards. If you can't really tell, but it's probably about 2 to 3 inches thick as well because it's a terminal. And I hope this guy comes to another meetup so that Osiris, you can try it, because this was probably These next two boards were the two boards I had the most fun typing on, and I spent the most time typing.
Yeah, I was looking at this list a little bit earlier before we started recording, just to kind of familiarize myself with the different boards, and I was like, I want to hear the story behind this, but I want to wait until the episode recording, because it's obviously so much different than everything else. I mean, what the hell does tab forward and back do? Like these, but of all of them, I think this is the one I'm the most bummed about missing out on, because this isn't something that I will be able to feel unless they come to Dallas or maybe NorCal or at the next meetup in Austin. Who knows? But this thing looks really cool. Vintage boards are really cool. It doesn't look like he could use it on a modern PC. I'm sure you could figure it out, but it looks awesome.
It's cool little art piece. This is something that it's like I would love to have like in the background.
Yeah, you just
and
put
if
it
I'm
like,
if I'm ever needing like a sensory just go type on that for a few minutes.
It's like the equivalent of a coffee table book, but for keyboards.
So absolutely. But XMet, number 2, bud.
Yeah, I would say
number 1.
Good job in finding that. I was gonna say, because you didn't build it, but good job finding it.
And he might have cleaned it. I don't.
Maybe he restored it.
Yeah, he might have restored it. I didn't get a chance to. I actually didn't know which one was him, because there was a lot of people there, and when his table was usually one of the fullest ones. So, but probably the busiest table is this next guy, who we have already seen. Pragmedium. This was, I texted Eric about this in the middle of the meetup. And I was like, a clicky switch is about to win board of the meetup. I cannot tell you, because this is the first time I have felt a successfully lubed box switch. It felt amazing. It felt so good as a clicky switch, being able to have a smooth box switch with a thick click, heavy springs. I mean, and so it's Kale Pale Box Blue, lubed with Krytox THICC.
Thick.
It just says thick. And GPL 106 on the springs. I mean, when I say buttery smooth, but still somehow, like, buttery smooth and clicky don't go together, and he made it work. I think Nautilus was made for the Rama, and I forgot what the actual color, but blue. Lake. Rama and Lake were just a match made in heaven. Or not Rama. Nautilus and Lake were a match made in heaven. It's got, the lit up blue. Definitely, it sticks out like a sore thumb. When you see it, it's like, yep, there it is. Bright yellow spacebar. Great use of novelties. 3 different artisan caps, and I mean, props. Like, mother of God, this board was amazing. And Zeal stabs to make it even smoother.
Dude, yeah. I was about to say, this is one of those things where it's like, he went all out for this. This took a lot of time to make this happen. This board happen. Lubing box switches is always we'll say it's a treat.
Yeah, I would pay a lot of money to lube some box switches for.
Yeah, they're not the easiest thing to lube. It's hard to lube them consistently.
Like, I'm like, I want to send him switches. Be like, bro, do what you did on that, please.
Make that happen for me.
Name your price, bud.
Both Chewy and I think it's safe to say that our favorite clicky switch is both box pale blue and the speed pale.
Mm-hmm.
Of the different click bar options, I think it's safe to say that that's our favorite. I think it looks awesome. Looks freaking cool.
Yeah, like, oof.
Artisans match perfectly.
The bear lot. I love the little bear lot artisan in the bottom right.
It just looks, overall, it just looks super clean, looks great. This is an expensive board, man.
Yeah.
Like, especially
He's
with
got
the artisans factored in, it was an
like
expensive board.
$230 just for the keycaps because that's what they were, and he might have gotten used, but $230 just for the keycaps. If you want to factor in time and effort on the switches are not that expensive. But if you factor in time and effort, that's a lot. And then the board's already expensive. So yeah, this is
Well, plus
this
those
is
artisans, like those
yeah.
artisans are all pretty
Other than the
expensive.
bear lot's the only one that's cheap at like $60.
Yeah. Then anything by Keyforge is going to be expensive on the aftermarket. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it looks great. It's shined up a little bit, which I love. You can see that in the photo. Yeah, it's a great board. I'm very upset that I didn't get to go.
Mm-hmm.
Upset that I didn't get to feel these boards. Wish that I would have been able to feel this as well as the other 9. Most certainly the vintage ones, because those
Mm-hmm.
are always my favorite to mess around with and have fun. Because you can't do that, and that's why you should get out to a meetup, because
Absolutely.
you can find a Switch that maybe you didn't think could feel as good as it does. You may find out that you like something that you didn't know you liked. So
Yep. But that is the Austin meetup. You know, as Osiris said it, go to meetups because they're awesome. They're fun. You get to meet a lot of people. And people like to talk about their boards. So if you just ask them, hey, what do you think about this? I brought down one of my boards that has the weird Franken switch that I've been talking about and got a lot of good feedback on it. And I got to talk about that. And people were, interested in talking to me about that. And then I would even go, hey, show me your board. Go over and they talk about it. So people like to show because you put in effort. I mean, especially this last one, that took effort. That took a lot of time and effort and planning and and money. So like talk to people about their boards. Get some
absolutely,
tips.
absolutely. What was the overall feedback on your Franken Switch? Was it as good as
Other
you thought?
honestly, yeah, people were like, "Oh wow." Like I got some really good feedback. They really like the sound and they really really like the feel, and then I told them what it was and they're like, "Oh, cool. You're crazy."
Did
It's
anyone
like,
have the reaction I had where I was like, "This hurts my brain. I need to
yeah.
stop."
I don't know, but I didn't hear. I watched a lot of people like laugh and then be like, wait, like you could kind of see the like, wait, timeout. Like I have to, like, they would go up and just kind of type and they weren't really reading what I wrote. And wait, timeout. Wait, what is this? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, Osiris got to try it out. I did get to see him. He handed me the bumper Saturday and I was like, you got to try this board.
It's just like it's one of those things where it feels one way and then it sounds completely different from what your brain is like. It should sound like this because this is what I'm used to. And then it's like, no, I don't sound
Nope,
like that.
not even a little bit.
But no, it's a great Switch. It's an expensive Switch, but
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
it's one of those things. If you've got some extra switches, 3 different switches laying around, then make it happen.
If you have holy yaks or yak pandas or whatever, holy yak pandas and Zelios V2s laying around burning a hole in your pocket, go for it. But like I said, people really like the bumper. My TX60, people like my TX60, but that's I like my TX60. I think it's sitting in a box right now, but
Using the bumper for a
using the
while.
bumper with I didn't even talk about this. I'll talk about this more on stream tomorrow, but I've got the purple stem trash pandas from Novelties, the new ones. Enjoying it so far. I would love to put a heavier spring in it. They are not mine. I'm sure he would be fine if I did that, but I also just don't have the springs for it. But yeah, cool. Definitely a solid switch for the price. I think it needs some lube and different springs personally, but
Yeah, but you like
Smooth and heavy, baby.
To break your fingers with the springs. So
exactly. So, but that will wrap it up. Quick announcement for tomorrow. We've got I Am Me, You Are You. Or as I botched it one time, I Am Me. Until Osiris corrected me.
I think he said I Am Me.
I Am Me. So we've got him on stream tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to check that out. We've got a really cool, exciting 2 months ahead of us. Like, we've done a lot of planning from here through November, and get hype.
Yeah,
we got some bangers.
We got some bangers coming up. We've got some, we're both really excited. We've got some stuff coming in. Finally, some stuff that we purchased at the beginning of the channel, some stuff that we purchased last year coming in soon.
Yep.
But we're excited. We're going to have some more builds. We're going to try to make at least a build a week. And we've got some extra stuff coming up throughout the rest of the year. We're very stoked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about what we can do for the rest of the year and move on into 2020. It's going to be
banger
with the bangers. Isn't that a name of a Miley Cyrus CD? I think it is.
I'm sure. I won't argue with that. So anyway, switchmod.net/Mechs on deck. Get you 4% off your lube goodness. Go get G&K Sandstorm.
Yep. mechsondeck.dixiemech helps us out. Use it. Get Dracula. Starts next week, I believe.
Friday,
pick it up later this
Friday
week.
Or Saturday. Yep,
pick
Friday,
it up.
I believe.
Use our code. Helps us out. Buy some other stuff with it. Get some cool merch. Check it out.
Yep. Zap cables. Best keyboard cables you can get. DIY kits on his site available now. You can check out our video that we did with that. Awesome dude. Bumper coming out soon. So be sure, check that out. Check out Osiris's review on that if you're interested in that. And other than that, I think it's going to be a solid week. I'm excited for this because last week, low key was terrible. So, so I'm excited for this week. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday.
Last week was a good stream, though. Last week was a
great stream. It was a great stream. That was the highlight of my week. Was the 2 streams.
I will say the same. But yes, we're excited. Stay tuned to our channel. Stick tuned to this channel. Subscribe, like, follow us on Twitch for more streams and
more air horn.
More air horn, because that's a thing now. And join our Discord because you want to stay tuned to what's happening in the coming months because it's going to be pretty freaking cool.
Heck yeah.
See ya.
Bye, Switch Tester.